The final frontier. Star Trek's Captain Kirk, his famous phrase, space, the final frontier, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Space remains a frontier. Huge telescopes see deeper and further into space. We know the universe's edge is 13 billion light years away, and beyond, we see nothing. It is the final frontier. But one day, Star Trek-like, will we have the technology to cross even that frontier? The final frontier we don't talk about is death. To paraphrase Captain Kirk, death, the final frontier. We all go there, and not necessarily boldly. It's the final frontier, though many people have a vague hope that there's more than nothing, that death, the final frontier, is a gateway to something more, something afterlife. Life tells us that death is indeed our final frontier. You can perhaps avoid taxes, but you'll not avoid death. I'm sorry to be so negative, but stick with me, please. I believe death is no longer the final frontier. Let's go back some 2,000 years to the time of Jesus, and in that first century, most Jews had a hope that the dead, or at least the righteous dead, would be raised to a new bodily existence of some sort at a future time. Why? Because of God's promises to ancient Israel and Daniel's prophecy, chapter 12, verse 2. Many of those whose bodies lie dead and buried will rise up, some to everlasting life and some to shame and everlasting disgrace. Greeks, however, had no such concept of bodily resurrection. They believed in nothing, or at the most in the soul's immortality in a vague, shadowy semi-existence. For Christians, death ceased as the final frontier because Jesus, paraphrasing Star Trek, had boldly gone where no man had gone before. He had indeed died on a cross. He was buried in a sealed tomb. He was dead for 3 days, as they then counted days, and he bodily rose. That is the unique new testimony of those first eyewitnesses. 1 Corinthians 15, St. Paul wrote, Christ has been raised from the dead. Just as everyone dies because we all belong to Adam, everyone who belongs to Christ will be given new life. As we are now like the earthly man, we will someday be like the heavenly man. The final frontier is no longer death for those who believe in Jesus. It is the gateway to eternity with him.